gets arrested, do you see him running his office from jail?
किसने कल देखा है?
You think he'll be a martyr if he goes to jail?
He will try.
After Manish Sisodia, the Enforcement Directorate has gone for the jugular. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal will have to appear before the ED. Now, one thing is sure that over so many Chunaavs that we've seen, Arvind Kejriwal has usually risen from adversity to come back stronger. But this, Rajdeep, is his biggest perception war. He's built his bone, cut his teeth, whatever one might say, on the plank of anti-corruption. And this time around, battling exactly that.
She's Preeti Choudhry, I'm Rajdeep Sardesai, and you're watching Chunaav ke Choudhary. Yes, you're right, Preeti. I think when you look at Arvind Kejriwal's political career, his emergence was on the anti-corruption plank. It was on this belief that hum kattar imandar hai, baki sab neta chor hai. And it's almost, he's almost been hoisted in a way by his own petard, because after making allegations against many others, those very forces will make allegations on him. The jurisprudence of this country is innocent till proven guilty. But at the moment, the way the perception war, as you called it, is being played out is you're guilty till proven innocent. Particularly in the Delhi liquor scam, since many of his close aides have been arrested, have been denied bail.
The entire top brass of the Aam Aadmi Party.
That's right. So, it puts Arvind Kejriwal's USP of being this kattar imandar, of being this neta who's going to be a neta with a difference, who's taking on all other politicians who are seemingly or supposedly corrupt. All of that comes back to haunt him. And I think, therefore, you're right that this is possibly not just a political battle, but an existential battle for him politically.
When you look at it, let's just go back and why we are saying this time is so much more difficult for Arvind Kejriwal. 2013, Arvind Kejriwal makes his own party after 2012, after the entire Anna agitation. 2013 comes to power, quits within 49 days of government, goes ahead to fight 2014, gets decimated by Modi. Most of his people across India lose their deposits, comes back in 2015 in the national capital and wins 67 out of 70 seats. Wrote himself back. The second time around, when you saw Punjab, written off the first election, then came back and swept where Punjab was concerned. Again in Delhi, now won Delhi again. Why is this different, Rajdeep? Because this time, Kattar Imandar is in question.
10 years ago, he was a fresh-faced neta. So he carried no baggage whatsoever. Today, when Arvind Kejriwal is seen with a Lalu Prasad or with a Sharad Pawar, the very netas that he called corrupt at the time, there will be questions raised. You said this about Mr. Pawar, you said this about Lalu Prasad. So, in a way, he's become a full-fledged politician. In 2018, he was seen as the outsider, the anti-establishment hero. In 2023, he may not necessarily be the outsider anymore. He's perhaps a cannier politician. And I've always felt that he is one he's a 24/7 politician. Do I think he can rise above this? Look, if you had asked most people in 2014 after he'd lost the Lok Sabha elections, wiped out, I don't think anyone would have told you he's going to win 67 out of 70 just 9 months later.
Yes.
Remember the likes of Yogendra Yadav, Prashant Bhushan, all were slowly drifting away from him.
I don't think he knew it himself. He was very surprised he swept Delhi.
So he obviously had occupied a certain mind space and he had a story to tell, right? There was a story of offering an alternative, that I am offering alternative politics. That story of alternative politics is now under serious questioning. When his critics will every time now raise the liquor scam, say that Satyendra Jain arrested, Manish Sisodia arrested.
The fact that if Arvind Kejriwal tomorrow does, if he at all gets arrested, then you're actually looking at no top brass where the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned.
I think that is a big, you've raised a very important point, and I think that is going to be a big challenge. Because while Arvind Kejriwal, as I said, has been the most successful startup in Indian politics in the last decade, not having an organization means that there is a lot of dependence on the individual, his charisma, his connect. If he is not on the scene for a while, the party, I don't think will implode, but will struggle. And, it will struggle in terms of raising resources, in terms of an alternative leader, in terms of decisions, in terms that its core plank of anti-corruption is being snatched away. Won't be easy. But I hesitate to write off a politician like Mr. Kejriwal who has a story to tell. I still believe that the story is very simple. You've had these two parties running India for most of the last 7 decades. There are people, though, who are frustrated with both. Right? There is space for a third. There's always been space for a third, for an alternative. Mr. Kejriwal was appealing to that. I think what happened over time, initially he was a man in a hurry.
Right.
And thereby sort of, thought that this could happen overnight. I think over time he's realized it's not going to happen overnight. It's not easy. Indian politics does not allow you a level playing field. I mean, I find it astonishing that while you're going for the Aam Aadmi Party in the way that you are you telling me that there is no that the Enforcement Directorate of this country will not function in BJP ruled states? I mean, I think there will be those who will ask these questions. For now, Mr. Kejriwal has to give the answers.
Is that the reason why the India Alliance is now keeping a safe distance away from Arvind Kejriwal?
Not India Alliance as much as the Congress. The Congress
TMC
and Arvind
hasn't spoken.
Yeah, but I do
they are
believe
very close.
No,
Mamata
my,
Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal are very close. Have you heard anything from the TMC? No.
Mamata Banerjee is facing her own sort of
battles
in ED battles in Bengal. My belief is you're seeing some of the regional parties like Hemant Soren and all.
Only Sharad Pawar, no.
I think
DMK, no.
I think what is going to happen is that the Congress is the one which is wary of Mr. Kejriwal, has always been.
True.
And I think unless that equation, which has been extremely uneasy, is sorted out, we don't know how this will play out in terms of the India Alliance.
Let's hedge bets. Do you think he'll ride it till there? Do you think Arvind Kejriwal will be a contender in 2029, or it's anything can happen?
Anything can happen. Tomorrow...
Will he ride off 2024? Will he be able to do it?
I think Arvind Kejriwal's best bet in 2024 is to be an integral part of the India Alliance and try to ensure at least that there is a cohesive, viable opposition of which he's a part. Because as I have been saying in other of our Chunaav ke Choudhary, if Prime Minister Modi and the BJP win 350 plus seats again, the entire opposition, not just Mr. Kejriwal, is not over, but is going to face a serious challenge. Serious existential challenge.
Do you see him, if he gets arrested, do you see him running his office from jail? It's known to have happened before. Sukram did it, telecom.
Look, running an office from jail. Look, Arvind Kejriwal, it would be...
I think he's capable.
It would be a huge letdown for many of those who saw in Mr. Kejriwal someone who was going to transform Indian politics if tomorrow he goes to jail. And I'm not sure the Modi government as yet wants to take the risk of giving Arvind Kejriwal the space to claim that this government is conspiring and victimizing me.
You think he'll be a martyr if he goes to jail?
He will try. He will certainly try. He, as I said, will certainly try and wear the halo of martyrdom. It may not work as effectively as it would have a decade ago when he carried no baggage. Now, surrounded by so many of his colleagues also having gone to jail, it will be more difficult. But in politics, never write off anyone.
True.
And I still believe that Mr. Kejriwal does connect with a particular section of society which is fatigued with the BJP and doesn't see the Congress as necessarily the only alternative.